everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to our second episode of WWE Current Day Rosters Monday Night Raw. Let's have a quick look at the card we've got set for you this evening as we continue to work towards Extreme Rules there, you see at the end of the month. We're going to start things off with Seth Rollins, the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion, taking on Dean Ambrose. And this is all led from Dean Ambrose attacking the champion Seth Rollins last week as Seth made his entrance to face off against Rusev. We're going to see Becky Lynch taking on Layla, and we know that Paige will be at ringside, the number one contender for the Women's Championship. We're going to see the Cruiserweight Champion Neville taking on Cara, and again Kalisto will be at ringside. We're going to see the Tag Team Champions, the Ascension, taking on the Primetime Players in a non-title match. We're going to see the New Day taking on Cesaro and Tyson Kidd in a rivalry match, that one. We have a United States Open Challenge as Roman Reigns sets the gauntlet for anybody to come out and challenge that United States Championship. And then our main event this evening is going to be Luke Harper taking on Daniel Bryan. So without further ado, let's get straight into our opening match of the evening. And like I said, our opening match this evening will be Seth Rollins, the current World Heavyweight Champion, taking on Dean Ambrose one-on-one. And Seth Rollins is offering out a handshake here to Dean Ambrose. Ambrose is not quite sure what to do, and Seth with a boot to the stomach. And this match is underway. Seth getting an early advantage there, using his he says it's his intelligence, but I'm not entirely sure that's what you can really call it. Using some dirty tactics, shall we say, to get the upper hand on Ambrose as this match starts. Seth now, big super kick to the head of Dean Ambrose, and this could be a quick one here. Seth pulling Dean away from the ropes, going in for the pin after that super kick to the face. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Dean Ambrose is still in this one. Oh, Seth is launching Dean up and catches him into the pedigree. Seth Rollins could have a very quick victory here of Ambrose. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Oh no, and Dean Ambrose again kicks out on the verge of a 3 count. I can only imagine that it's just not enough damage done by Seth this evening. Ambrose is still in this one, but how much more is he going to be able to take? That's the big question here. Dean with that running forearm to the face of Seth. Now rolling Rollins over. It's a tricky sentence to say, that one. And some big punches to the face. Remember, we do have that United States Championship match for you this evening. That's going to be an interesting one. Who will it be to take up that open challenge? We know that Rusev last week was given the opportunity, after defeating Seth Rollins, he was given the opportunity to decide whether he would like to go for the United States or the Intercontinental Championship by the Authority. So maybe it could be Rusev to cash in that open challenge this evening. But again, it's an open challenge. Anybody could cash it in. It could be anybody on the roster, really. They don't even have to be on the roster, I suppose. It could literally be anybody. As here you see Seth Rollins just stamping Dean Ambrose's face into the matting on the outside. Referee's up to 3 count. Seth has gone up top, and is he going to go for a big dive here? He's going for a big frog splash there by Seth Rollins to Dean Ambrose. And Dean has just not managed to get back into this match since the very beginning, when Seth caught him unawares with that boot to the stomach and then super kick to the side of the head. The pedigree. Dean Ambrose is really in a difficult situation here. And Seth now launching Ambrose into those ring steps. Back into the ring goes Seth, looking to try and win here by count out, is he? Referee up to a 7 count. Ambrose is back up to his feet and slides back in before the ref makes it to an 8. This match continues onwards. Seth with that running neck breaker. Now just wrenching back at the arms of Dean Ambrose, just slowing the pace of the match down. And again, just sapping some more energy out of Dean by hitting a move like that. Seth now rolling Dean Ambrose over, clubbing blow to the back, and Seth looks to be going up top again, but Dean back up to his feet. And Dean catches Seth, who was trying to get down, I think, at the same time, and only fell from the middle rope, luckily for him. Ambrose now with a Russian leg sweep, finally starting to get a little bit of aggression in this match. Is it going to be enough to get on top of it, though? Clubbing blow across the back and front chancery. Lining Rollins up against the ropes, now springing him back into that big spine buster. And finally Ambrose is looking to try and take control now. Big boot to the stomach of Seth Rollins. Ambrose brings Seth back up to his feet. Front chancery. Throws Seth over that top rope. Dean slides under. Big boot to the stomach once again. And finally looks like Dean has got full control of this match. And just as I'm saying that, Seth with that snap suplex on the outside. And of course it's looking like this might end up going all the way to Extreme Rules between these two. What a match that would be for the championship. Of course, we already know that Bray Wyatt will challenge Bad News Barrett for the WWE Championship. And now Seth again, trying to win this one by count out by the looks of it. Referee trying to get Dean Ambrose's attention. Referee up to a 7. He's really giving Dean Ambrose a lot of time there to get back in. And well done to the referee there. He doesn't want this match to end by count out. Neither does anybody in the crowd either. Rollins taking Ambrose up. Buckle bomb. And that could be all. Or maybe not, as Seth tried to continue the assault, but Dean caught him with that arm drag. And now Ambrose in with a pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. This match still continues on. Ambrose thought he had a chance. Ambrose slowly back up to his feet. You see the damage starting to take full effect on Ambrose now. Seth taking Ambrose over the shoulder. Oh, and this is going to be all surely. Seth, there's the second pedigree on Dean Ambrose. And this has to be game, set, match now. Seth bringing Ambrose into the middle of the ring. Rolls him over. The dead weight there, Dean Ambrose in for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. Your World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins victorious here over Dean Ambrose. Ambrose never really got much back into this match ever since the boot to the stomach early on, which really gave Rollins the great opportunity to start off with. And you see Rollins decides against leaving out of the ring, and here he goes, just kicking to the stomach of Dean Ambrose. Just completely ignore that battery problem. But yeah, Dean Ambrose getting attacked after the match here by Seth Rollins, and we are seeing a lot of pretty good cutscenes actually. We're seeing a lot more cutscenes in rivalries than we ever did in 2K15s. We're now only in week number 2 of this universe, but we're seeing 3 cutscenes on this one rivalry already, so that's pretty good. And here we get a quick update on the rivalry. Cheap shot, feigning respectable sportsmanship. Seth Rollins embarrassed Dean Ambrose with a fake handshake and a cheap shot before the match. So what does that give? That gives... it reduces the cowardly stat of Seth Rollins, I believe that means. And it's also given him a momentum boost as well, which is going to be very important when going into the championship match at Extreme Rules. That's pretty good, I like that. And match number 2 here this evening is going to be the women's champion Becky Lynch taking on Layla, and Paige, the #1 contender, will be at ringside. And the bell goes and we are underway. Women's champion Becky Lynch taking on Layla, and like I said, Paige at ringside. Paige, the #1 contender for Becky Lynch's women's championship after pinning her last week in that fatal 4-way match. Of course, that match is going to take place at Extreme Rules in 3 weeks' time. So we've got quite a lot of build-up before then. And it's a match that I really want to see. It's a match that I've actually done in my random match series as well, Paige versus Becky Lynch. It's a really good one. Essentially, both girls came from the UK. They have wrestled each other on several occasions before in the UK indie scene as well. So, 2 girls that know each other really well, and I can't wait to see them in singles competition at Extreme Rules. Maybe even in a women's Extreme Rules match. Not quite sure if we're allowed to do Extreme Rules women's matches, but I'm sure we will definitely try. Something that we definitely want to try and do. Layla, not 100% sure why Layla was included in the game, because she's not wrestled in WWE for a very long time now. Ahead of some of the women's like Charlotte and Becky Lynch, of course, already, who's not in the game. And Sasha Banks. It's a bit odd how Layla got the nod. And Becky Lynch is proven why she deserves to be on the game even more here by slowly taking Layla apart. And what sort of influence will Paige have at ringside? That's going to be the interesting one. There's the belly-to-belly slam by Becky Lynch on Layla. Rolling her over now, and Layla back up to her feet, but takes a boot to the stomach for her troubles. And there you see Becky Lynch with the armbar. A little bit of glitchiness there, but I'm pretty sure, is that Layla's disarmer submission maybe? I'm not sure. But either way, Layla managed to break out of it. Layla now bringing Becky Lynch into the middle of the ring and slamming her face first into the mat. Just throwing her via her hair across the ring. As you see, it does look like the Paige is cheering Layla on to some effect. She's not getting involved herself, but she is cheering Layla on. And will that get into the head of Becky Lynch? Layla, that Russian leg sweep, then rolls through into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, the women's champion Becky Lynch kicks out, and this would be a terrible start to the universe mode for her if she was to lose 2 successive matches on 2 successive Monday Night Raws. Layla with that big kick to the back of the head, and it could happen here. Layla with a pin. 1, 2. No, Becky Lynch kicks out. Layla cannot believe it. You see the look at her face. Layla taking Becky down with an arm drag, and Layla just looks miles ahead of Becky Lynch here this evening. I think Becky might have Charlotte in her head. Big knee to the face. And Becky Lynch looks like she's lining Layla up here. What's this for? We'll send her into the corner. Knees to the face there by Becky. Missile dropkick from the middle rope as well. Big diving forearm into the corner. Followed up by some stamps as well there by Becky Lynch. And just stomping a mud hole in Layla. And Becky, the women's champion, is finally starting to take some control of this match, and commentator's curse. She gets kicked onto her back. Now Layla with a pin. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count once again. Layla now with her head scissors and the elbows to the face of Becky Lynch. Becky's stamping on Layla's stomach. Sorry, vice versa. Vice versa? I can't talk at the moment. Layla now with the front chancery on Becky. Becky fights through. Layla lands face first into the mat. Becky in for the pin. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count once again for Becky. Layla had Becky in that front chancery, but Becky fights out with a knee to the stomach, now throwing Layla into this corner. Becky Lynch now taking Layla up. What does she have planned in here? Oh, well, Layla fights her away with that boot, creating a bit of space, and there's a double axe handle off the top rope by Layla. They're just stamping on the back of the arm of Becky Lynch, and I'm sure Paige just must be in Becky's head here. 2. Again, Becky Lynch manages to kick out. What a match this has been so far by these two women. Layla looks to be going up top. Becky's down. What has Layla got in plan here? A big diving elbow drop by Layla. Can she follow it up though? Not as yet. Becky kicks her away. Layla just took too long there. And now Becky is lining Layla up. She's got her hooked. There's the big pump handle suplex. Brings Layla away from the ropes. This could be all. In for the pin she goes. 1, 2, and no! Layla kicks out on the verge of a 3 count. Wow. That's quite incredible. Becky throwing Layla into the corner. Tries to follow up. Layla avoids it. He catches Becky with that drop kick. And what a match this has been between these two women. Layla again just slamming the face of Becky into the mat. Bringing Becky back up to her feet. Layla with that neck breaker. In for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Layla's done it, and you see Paige cheering away. She's happy with that. Very, very interesting result, this one. The women's champion pinned by Paige last week and now pinned again here by Layla the week after. You see Paige just trying to get Becky's attention on several occasions in this match, and I think it did work. I think Paige was really in Becky's head. I cannot believe that Layla has managed to pick up the victory here. Yeah, because I could only imagine that Paige really got into Becky's head. She seemed distracted at several occasions, but take nothing away from Layla. She fought hard for this one, showed a lot of resilience and a lot of skill as well to come out on top. You see Becky just stomping a mud hole into Layla. But Layla again showing some resistance, just kicking Becky away there. This was Layla, one of the many occasions she slammed the face of Becky into the mat now. Brought her back up to her feet. And this way she spun around into this big neck breaker. And that was all she wrote. You saw Paige was very excited with that neck breaker. And that is why Paige, you see in the background cheering. She was well happy with that victory. And Paige is celebrating herself. This is not Paige's victory, but I think she's claiming it as hers. Really getting to the head of Becky Lynch now. This is going to be a very interesting Women's Championship match at Extreme Rules. And here we go with our third match of the evening. It's going to be Neville taking on Sin Cara, and Kalisto will be at ringside. And here we go. Of course, it was Neville versus Kalisto last week, and Neville did a fantastic job coming out with the victory. And now it's Sin Cara's opportunity to face off against Neville. Again, of course, this is a non-title match. Anything could happen here, really. I think Neville is going to be a great cruiserweight champion here on the current day roster. I think he's going to hold on to this belt for a very long time. As the referee has to get in between Sin Cara and Neville. The two of them lock it up, and now Sin Cara showing his strength, pushing Neville into that far corner. And Sin Cara does have quite a bit of strength to him, actually. Not a lot of people realise. But, especially when he does that, the powerbomb where he catches the guy on the ground and lifts him up, just deadlifts him up into the powerbomb. It shows a lot of strength. But Neville, as you can see, is a man who has a lot of strength as well. You see by his build, he's a very, very strong man. Neville just sending Sin Cara over the top rope. Kalisto gives him a little bit of space. Sin Cara, great head scissors now. Kick to the back of Neville straight after to add insult to injury there. Boot to the sides of the leg of Neville. But Neville catches one of them, hits an elbow to the leg. Snap suplex by Neville on Sin Cara. Sin Cara now with the kicks to Neville. Referee counting away. We're up to a 6 count here, but Neville... Neville, I think, is okay. I think he's just taking a few seconds to regain some momentum outside. Comes straight into a German suplex from Sin Cara, and Sin Cara is doing incredibly well here against Neville. Maybe Sin Cara is going to be in line for a Cruiserweight Championship if he gets a victory here over Neville. Neville with a big kick across the chest of Sin Cara. And now there he is with that DDT to the leg, just jarring the knee of Sin Cara. And that's a wise thing to do from Neville, because we know that Sin Cara and Kalisto both like their springboard moves, as does Neville. And by taking out the vertical base, one of those legs, it's going to become much more difficult to hit that sort of move. Neville tried to bring Sin Cara back to his feet, but Sin Cara caught him with that shoulder block. Sin Cara with that front chancery. Sides against it, pushes Neville away, and Neville takes his turn now in the front chancery. And he pushes Sin Cara away. That's the strength I was saying about earlier. Neville went for the head scissors, and the strength of Sin Cara kept him there and dropped him into a powerbomb instead. Now wrenching back at the leg and the knee. Sin Cara now taking Neville up in that almost angle slam. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Sin Cara could not believe it. He thought he had the victory there. Sin Cara now taking Neville against that rope, and Sin Cara just throwing Neville to the outside. And what does Sin Cara have planned here? Looks like he's lining Neville up. Are we going to see? Looks like we might. There he goes. Suicide dive by Sin Cara, taking Neville out. Damage done. Sin Cara bringing Neville back up to his feet, but Neville with that great spinning heel kick. And remember, we did actually announce, if you've not seen it, I announced on NXT television that the Cruiserweight Championship was going to be defended at NXT TakeOver. So that's going to be next weekend, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. We don't know who yet it's going to be fighting out for that Cruiserweight Championship. Maybe we could have a #1 contendership match maybe this week on NXT television. That's definitely something we can look at doing. Yeah, but like I said, Neville's Cruiserweight Championship will not be defended at Extreme Rules. It will be defended at NXT TakeOver. Referee up to a 7 count here. Neville slides back into the ring, and Sin Cara thought he might have had this one by count out then. Sin Cara German suplex. And Sin Cara's doing a fantastic job here against Neville. Up he goes, up onto the top. What does Sin Cara have planned here? The big splash. Bringing Neville back up to his feet. Snapmare by Sin Cara, and then he probably should have gone for a pin after that, but he's gone to slow the pace of this match down and just wrenching at the back of the arm of Neville now. Very painful maneuver. He continues as well. Just sucking the energy out of Neville here, really. And finally, Sin Cara drops it. It's a clever move because we know Sin Cara likes to utilise the tilt-a-whirl armbar as his finishing manoeuvre, which might be coming here. There it is. And by doing the damage to Neville's arm, is that going to increase his chances of getting a tap out here? No, I think Neville just made it to the ropes. The referee makes Sin Cara break the hold. Neville now bringing Sin Cara away from that corner, taking him up. Sin Cara fights out with that knee to the head, and I'll tell you what, Sin Cara's on form here. Northern Light suplex is bridged in for the pin. 1, 2, and 3, and Sin Cara has pinned the Cruiserweight Champion Neville, and I think that has just confirmed our Cruiserweight Championship match for NXT TakeOver, if you ask me. it looks like we're going to see Neville versus Sin Cara for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. Sin Cara looked to dominate most of the match. And he finally got his reward later on. Here he is with this suicide dive. A big high-risk move that could go either way. If you hit it, you do a lot of damage to your opponent. If you miss, you do a hell of a lot more damage to yourself. But there he is with that suicide dive. He managed to catch Neville. And Neville was never quite the same after that. You see, Neville did go for this suplex here, but you see Sin Cara with a knee to the head to fight his way out. And then straight into this Northern Light suplex. He bridged for the pin, Sin Cara. 1, 2, and 3. What a great victory this is for Sin Cara. He is going on to NXT TakeOver Arrival next weekend. It's going to be week number 3 of this month to face off against Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. And here's our third match of the evening. It's going to be the Tag Team Champions, the Ascension, taking on the Primetime Players. And here we go. We're going to start things off with Connor and Titus O'Neil in the ring. Of course, Connor and Victor, the current Tag Team Champions, defeated Brotherhood last week, Goldust and Stardust, to retain those Tag Team Championships. And this evening they'll be looking for another victory once again. But Titus O'Neil and Darren Young might have different ideas. As Titus O'Neil here with the squatting suplex, taking Connor down and out. Referee up to a 4 count now. As Titus O'Neil continues the assault on Connor on the outside. There's a gut wrench. Referee's up to a 7 count and Connor still down on the outside. Titus O'Neil trying to get a quick victory here by count up by the looks of it. But Connor is back in the ring. Titus taunting, but Connor just catches him straight away. And Victor does a great job there. Great bit of teamwork by the Ascension. Connor threw Titus O'Neil towards Victor, and Victor pulled down that top rope and Titus crashes to the matting below. German suplex there by Connor on the outside to Titus O'Neil. Just slamming the head of Titus O'Neil into the mat. Titus fighting back with those big right hands, and now has Connor on his shoulders, and this match is quite aggressive, taking place a lot on the outside. Referee again up to a 5 count. Titus slides back into the ring again, leaving Connor on the outside, but Connor again back up to his feet and back into the ring before the referee's count gets too high. Titus O'Neil has Connor up on his shoulders, big Samoan drop. And talking of Samoans, remember we do still have our NXT, no we don't have NXT, sorry, I've changed the page in my book, which doesn't really help, does it? We still have our Roman Reigns' United States Open Challenge coming up this evening. Rumour has it could be Rusev. Rusev was given the opportunity last week to face off against either the Intercontinental Champion or the United States Champion. That was after he defeated Seth Rollins one-on-one. Thanks mainly to the help by Dean Ambrose, who did attack Seth on his way to the ring before the match. Victor there with that reverse DDT. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. This match still continues on. And it's great to see the Ascension finally being used in this universe mode much better than they are in the current day roster. I know a lot of you guys have the same feelings because we have been getting comments that really agree with some of the things I've been saying. The Ascension were a great tag team in NXT, and then when they got moved to the current day roster, to the main roster, should I say, they just weren't used the same way. They were tweaked ever so slightly, and it just made the whole thing not work anymore. So it's a bit annoying, and we really want to see the Ascension get used better than what they currently are by WWE, and that's what we're trying to do here in this universe mode. A big stable is a possibility, but I'm not going to say much else about that. But if you've seen my 2K16 universe mode, We're looking at maybe recreating something that happened on there, but all things will come in good time. There's Darren Young just stamping on the back of the head of Victor. I tell you what, the Primetime players doing a fantastic job here against the Ascension, I must say. Victor just stalking Darren Young, and finally Darren Young gets back up to his feet but catches Victor before Victor gets a chance. And Darren Young with that DDT rolls Victor over, goes in for the pin. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count, and this match continues. Darren Young now with the elbow to the top of the head of Victor. Young just wandering around Victor now, drops a leg drop and an elbow drop. And a big forearm across Victor as well. And you never know, a victory here for Primetime players would definitely put them right at the top of those Tag Team Championship rankings. Maybe looking for a championship match at the Ascension. Maybe at Extreme Rules, but that's an if. If Connor and Victor pull off a victory here against the Primetime players, then of course that won't be the case. Big knee to the face by Darren Young. And 2 other tag teams that will be hoping to be involved in that tag team picture is going to be in our next match. It's going to be the New Day versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Obviously, currently those teams are feuding, so we'll have to see what happens with those 2. I don't think they're going to want to go for the championships this month because they're going after each other. Titus O'Neil brings Victor back up to his feet, and there's a gutbuster. And that fall-away slam just taking Victor at the top of his head. Darren Young has Connor distracted on the outside. Titus O'Neil for the pin. 2. And that is it. The Primetime players have picked up a victory over the Tag Team Champions, the Ascension. And I don't know about you, but for me, that is a Tag Team Championship match at Extreme Rules straight away. I'm marking that down on my piece of paper now as we talk. The Ascension versus the Primetime players for the Tag Team Championships. There you go. Extreme Rules is taking great shape already. We already know quite a few of our matches. We know that it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose for the World Heavyweight Championship. Bad News Barrett versus Bray Wyatt as well for the WWE Championship. Becky Lynch versus Paige for the Women's Championship. And now the Ascension versus the Primetime players for the Tag Team Championships. Remember, also announced in the last match, Neville will defend his Cruiserweight Championship at NXT TakeOver Arrival next weekend against Sin Cara. So we see just a few more of the highlights of this match. And you could tell from the very beginning the Primetime players were up for this one. And it's great to have them. I don't know why on 2K15. I don't know why WWE split them up in the first place, because they were a fantastic tag team. And here you go, that's the Gutbuster. And now that just fall-away slam, a very lazy fall-away slam there by Titus O'Neil, just launched him over his top of his head, just showing his strength. And what a great win that is for the Primetime players. And I really like Titus O'Neil. And I would like to maybe at some point give an opportunity higher up in the card on singles competition as well. But of course, if these two are both of them, really, they're both, for me, could be guys that could go higher up. So if these two guys don't have the Tag Team Championships, then maybe we can look at fix them in somewhere a little bit higher in the future. But let's see what happens at Extreme Rules. And here is our next match of the evening. I got it completely wrong. It's actually a singles match. It's Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods at ringside, taking on Cesaro with Tyson Kidd at ringside. I apologise for my confusion. Here we go. I completely read that wrong at the beginning. It's one-on-one here this evening. Cesaro with that massive discus uppercut. And I quite like this idea, actually. This is obviously a tag team feud. The first time I've done one at all. Didn't touch them on 2K15 because of the amount of problems we had with tag team matches not loading correctly. So it's great to finally be able to use them. And yeah, this is great to actually have as one part of the tag team feud a singles match. So obviously we saw a tag team match last week between the New Day and Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. And tonight we've got the singles match. Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods taking on Cesaro with Tyson Kidd. And talking of Cesaro, remember, if you haven't seen NXT from last week, it's definitely worth a watch. But Cesaro won a 6-man over the top rope battle royal in the main event to become the #1 contender for Hideo Itami's NXT Championship. And Cesaro will be taking that opportunity next week at NXT TakeOver Arrival. So be sure to keep an eye out for that one. Of course, Tyson Kidd is also working NXT, as is Xavier Woods, but Xavier's on his own down there. Not sure if we might put I don't really want to put Kofi Kingston Big E down there with him, but I think I like the idea of having Xavier Woods down there as more of a singles competitor. He can have I don't think he'll be involved. Might be involved in the television championship at some point, but apart from that, I don't think there's much else for him. Maybe the odd rivalry here and there. It'd be nice to see Xavier Woods get used a bit better. He's someone I quite like, Xavier Woods, actually. He's quite funny, and with the whole New Day thing coming across, he's finally getting a chance to express himself, showing a lot of his charisma, but it'd be nice to see him get a bit more of an opportunity inside the ring. Normally, he is the mouthpiece, and it's Kofi Kingston, Big E in the ring all the time, but it'd be nice to see Xavier Woods get a bit of a chance as well. As the interesting thing about this match will be as well is the managers. We've already seen one occasion a couple of minutes ago where Xavier Woods distracted Cesaro, and I was about to say it's the heel versus face aspect of the managers, but there you go, Tyson Kidd getting the attention of Kofi Kingston, who manages to fight out that German suplex really well with that arm drag. Doesn't manage to capitalize on it though. Cesaro again catches Kofi Kingston. There's that suplex. Cesaro now rolling Kofi Kingston over. And a big right hand to the flawed opponent. Kofi managing to struggle back up to his feet, but Cesaro's there. And what is this? See Kofi Kingston once again distracting Cesaro, and a great little mid-match cutscene there. Kofi Kingston in control this one. After that great little bit of a distraction by Xavier Woods. There he is with a boom drop, I believe that is, into the pin. 1, 2. It's only enough for a 2 count. Both guys now back up to their feet, and Cesaro made his way to the outside. He's under the ring. He's got a baseball bat. What is... Kofi Kingston taking the baseball bat off of Cesaro and dropping it to the outside. Cesaro looked like he was going to try and get a little bit of an advantage there using the baseball bat, but Cesaro now taking Kofi Kingston up into that straight jacket, into a powerbomb. Cesaro bringing Kofi back up to his feet again into that very European uppercut. Whoa. Did anyone else just see Xavier Woods swing around the ring? It's super, super quick. Or was that just me? Kofi Kingston given a chance to recuperate after that big German suplex. And now Kofi Kingston being distracted by Tyson Kidd in there. It seems to be a little bit of the case of whatever you can do, I can do better at the moment, as Xavier Woods distracting Cesaro, then Tyson Kidd distracting Kofi Kingston. Oh, there's that big spinning kick by Kofi Kingston. And now you see Tyson Kidd trying to take the top off the top turnbuckle off, and you see the referee wasn't even watching when Kofi Kingston got the pin. Another great bit of managerial work there, this time by Tyson Kidd. And you just see the sort of impact these managers have in these matches now. Now Xavier Woods distracting Cesaro. I wonder at what point in these matches, though, that do these managers get banished from ringside? Or is the referee a lot more lenient this year than he was in 2K15? On 2K15, it's sort of after a 2 or 3 sort of interferences into the match, the referee banned him from ringside. But at the moment, they seem to be okay. As you see Cesaro lining Kofi Kingston up. What does he have planned here? Of course, it was the New Day who picked up the victory last week. Cesaro with a neutralizer. Rolls Kofi over. 1. No. This time Xavier Woods has the referee distracted. Kofi slides out of the ring. And it looks like that is it. Xavier Woods is being eliminated from ringside. Finally, the referee has had too much of Xavier. Tyson Kidd, though, still staying at ringside. And that could give Cesaro a huge advantage here. Kofi Kingston now with the super backdrop off the top rope. Big move. Kofi rolling Cesaro over. Another boom drop. Into the pin he goes, but the referee is distracted with Tyson Kidd on the apron. Tyson drops down as Kofi breaks the pin. And this match still continues on. Kofi with the big right hand, and now the monkey flip out of the corner. You do a full roll into that monkey flip just to get a little bit more momentum. Kofi up onto the middle rope. Decides against it as Cesaro tries to crawl away, and Kofi with a big kick to the stomach of Cesaro. And now Kofi looks to be lining Cesaro up. What does he have planned? There's that trouble in paradise. Pulls Cesaro away from the ropes. Rolls him over again into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Kofi Kingston picks up the victory. Big victory here for Kofi. It looked like it was not going to go his way after Xavier Woods got thrown from ringside. I just see there's quite a few dodgy, great managerial work by both teams. There you see Tyson Kidd trying to undo that top turnbuckle pad. Referee distracted, redoes that turnbuckle pad up as Kofi Kingston was trying to pin Cesaro. This is that super backdrop which really set up the beginning of the end for Kofi Kingston. Here he is with a boom drop. You see Tyson Kidd straight up onto the apron. Again, distracting the referee. But eventually it was just too much. And Kofi Kingston was able to hit that SOS. And pick up the 3 count. So a great win here for Kofi Kingston. And that's 2 weeks in 2 for the New Day now over the team of Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. This feud is very much in the hands of the New Day, and should they win this feud, I dare say they'll be quite high up there looking for a tag team championship match, of course. And here we see another quick update on the rival here. Distraction. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods continue to build momentum after distracting their rival Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. So that has led to some more status effects going into for Kofi Kingston. You see he's got a rocket one, and I think the second one is momentum. Or no, the first one's momentum, the second one is the rivalry based momentum, so he's got double momentum on the go at the moment. His desperation skill has gone down slightly, and his egotistical skill has gone up slightly, I believe that means. Again, for Xavier Woods, the same effects have been given to him. Brand new enemies here then, it looks like, as well. You see Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods have become enemies now for both of these, and Tyson Kidd has actually got a new status effect as well, and that's a bad one. That's the opposite to momentum. That is a cold streak. So because he's lost 2 matches in a row, he's got the cold streak, and that could be a problem for him. I'll have to wait and see how it pans out in the future. And here we go. It is time here in Montreal, Canada, for the United States Championship Open Challenge. Here comes Roman Reigns to the ring with that United States Championship belt around his waist. And like I said earlier on, rumour has it that this could be Rusev. We know that he has the opportunity to challenge either Roman Reigns for the United States Championship or Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship whenever he so wishes. And this open challenge here this evening could give Rusev the exact opportunity he needs. Of course, Rusev got that opportunity after defeating the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins, last week in a singles match. Of course, it was after Dean Ambrose had attacked Seth Rollins during his entrance. Now, who is it going to be? Like I said, rumour has it it's going to be Rusev, but who is going to make his way out to challenge Roman Reigns for this United States Championship? Really? Really? We thought it was going to be Rusev, but here it is. It's the one-man band Heath Slater. So that's very interesting. Rusev decided not to use his opportunity at the championship here. But Heath Slater is going to be fighting off against Roman Reigns for the United States Championship. And with some of the results we've had so far this evening, I don't know, you wouldn't put it past Heath Slater picking up a victory here. I'm not going to say it's likely at all. But, you know, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have definitely happened. But could... well, I just can't even say it. I just can't even say it. Heath Slater versus Roman Reigns for the United States Championship coming up right now. I still can't believe that Heath Slater has actually come out here. Straight away, Heath Slater slides to the outside. Trying to get a little bit of momentum here. Oh, catches Roman Reigns with a neck breaker. And Heath Slater using some clever tactics here to get an early advantage over Roman Reigns. And of course, we're going to see quite a bit more of Heath Slater this year. So glad to finally get him back on the game. He wasn't on 2K15. So we got him back in the game, and not only is he working in the current day roster, he's also working NXT as well. And of course, he is going to be part of the tag team with Jack Swagger, the two-man All-American rock band, as suggested by Jay. It was a great idea that was. I did like that, and not quite sure it's a wise idea by Heath Slater. Referee got up to a 7 count, but of course, the championship belt does not change hands via a count-out. As Reigns just throwing Heath Slater to the outside, and it looks like Reigns has had enough of messing around now. Brings Slater back up to his feet, and now Reigns sending Slater into that ring post. And again, just straight into that ring post again. I don't know how much more this Heath Slater is going to be able to take. Roman Reigns with a big punches, but Heath Slater comes back at him with that running forearm. A big jumping clothesline by Reigns, though. Back in the ring. Referee's up to a 6 count. Heath Slater back in. Reigns with them big punches, and Heath Slater comes back with some punches of his own. Went for the scoop slam, but Reigns slides out the back, and that big clubbing blow across the back. And Slater taking Reigns over the top. You know, this would be absolutely incredible if Heath Slater won the United States Championship. It really would. Oh, I cannot believe it. I really can't. We all thought this was going to be Rusev. We all thought that Reigns was in for a really tough, difficult match here this evening. And then Heath Slater's music started up. And the one-man band has just completely thrown everyone. I'd love to see more Heath Slater. I know he's got a hell of a cult following in WWE. A lot of people, there's a big chunk of fans that really like him, and they really wanted him to be someone that would cash in John Cena's Open Challenge. And here he is cashing in our United States Championship Open Challenge. Reigns taking Heath Slater up onto that top. Brings him down with that single-arm powerbomb. And I think Reigns is finally starting to just control Heath Slater here. Into the pin he goes. 1, 2. And Heath Slater kicks out. Reigns thought he had this one won then. Heath Slater kicked out, but was that a wise idea by Heath? Big boot to the back there by Roman Reigns. Rolling Slater over. Reigns spinning Heath Slater around, hit him with a Russian leg sweep. Boot to the face there by Heath Slater and Roman Reigns. Now Reigns gets caught with that big chop there by Heath Slater. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Oh, only 1 second away from a brand new United States champion there in the face. And the form, shall I say, of Heath Slater. In for the pin goes Roman Reigns once again. 1, 2. And again, Heath Slater kicks out. And I've got to give it to Heath. He's putting up much more of a fight than we expected him to here this evening. Let's face it, when we saw Heath Slater walk out, we assumed this would be a very quick, easy victory for Roman Reigns. But Slater has made sure that he's been in this match as much as he possibly can. There's that big reverse neckbreaker style move. And Heath Slater in for the pin. 1, 2. And Roman Reigns kicks out. Every time Heath Slater goes for a pin, I don't know about you, but a little bit inside of me really hopes that Roman Reigns stays down. Arm drag by Reigns. Taking Heath Slater up. Big Samoan drop. And Slater could be in trouble here. Reigns with the elbow drop. Brings Slater up. There's a snapmare. And just when you think he's going to go for something a bit more high impact, he slows the pace of the match down, Reigns. But Heath Slater manages to get out of it now. Those elbows to the side of Roman Reigns. Slater throwing Reigns against that ring rope. Now straight over the top. Reigns with that right hand. Back in he comes. Now Reigns just sending Slater over the top. Slater crashes down to the mat hard. Reigns follows him out there. Boot to the stomach by Reigns. Up onto his shoulders again for another Samoan drop. Referee up to a 3 count. Reigns now throwing Heath Slater back into the ring. He doesn't want to win this by count out. Slater with that big elbow to reverse. Reigns throwing Slater into the corner. Slater with a kick to the face, create a little bit of space again. You know what? Slater's doing really well here. A lot better than anyone would have imagined. And you must admit, United States champion Heath Slater has a ring to it, doesn't it? Slater now forces his foot into the face of Roman Reigns. Pulling him out of the corner. Rolls him over. In for the pin. 1, 2. And again, it's only a 2 count. Only just a 2 count, telling us the truth. I think Slater still has some way to go before he can keep Roman Reigns down for the 3. Reigns now taking Slater up. And there's the fall-away slam. And this could be the beginning of the end here for Heath Slater. Roman Reigns lining him up. There's that big Superman punch. Straight into the pin goes Reigns. 1, 2. No. Heath Slater grabbed that bottom rope. Fantastic ring awareness by the one-man band, Heath Slater. And now Heath Slater with a boot to the face. Actually getting back on top of this match. Complete shot by Heath Slater. In for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, Roman Reigns kicks out. Oh, God. The emotion in this match is just far too much for me. I'm not sure I can take much more of this. Flapjack there by Heath Slater and Roman Reigns. Slater bringing Reigns back up to his feet, but Reigns with that elbow to the stomach. Slater with a snapmare taking Reigns back down on slowing the pace of this match down. In he goes with that chin lock. Reigns is back up. Couple of big elbows. Heath Slater now throwing Roman Reigns into the corner. Takes him up onto that corner. Oh, I'm going to bring him down into the tree of woe. Heath Slater now pushing his foot into the face of Reigns, and Reigns drops down into the mat. Remember, we still have our main event here for this evening. It's Luke Harper versus Daniel Bryan. And of course, we saw Kevin Owens defeating Daniel Bryan last week in our main event. Will Daniel Bryan be able to get a little bit of momentum back with a victory here this evening over Luke Harper? We'll have to wait and see. But before we concentrate on that, we still need to realise there's a possibility that we could have a new United States champion here. With a reverse Bloody Sunday there by Heath Slater. Into the pin he goes. 1, 2. And Roman Reigns kicks out. Oh my word, Heath Slater, what a fantastic account of yourself you are putting forward here this evening. None of us expected this from Heath Slater. Let's face it, including me. I thought this would be a walkthrough here by Reigns. Heath Slater with that neck breaker. Slater to the outside of the ring. And why isn't Slater gone for the pin? I'm quite sure what Slater's doing here. Referee starts to count him out, and Slater changes his mind, comes back into the ring. Not quite sure what was going through Slater's mind there. Probably should have gone for the pin after that neck breaker. Reigns back up to his feet. Slater with the clubbing blow across the back, throwing Reigns into that corner. Heath Slater now throwing Reigns shoulder first into the ring post. Slater now bringing Reigns back in with that sit-out powerbomb as well. And Heath Slater's dominating this match now. We're going to see a new United States champion here, surely. I cannot believe I'm actually saying that right now. But that looks the way like it's going to happen. Slater went for the kick to the back of Reigns. Reigns, though, has Slater up in that scoop slam, and Slater reverses it again. And Slater just seems to have one over Roman Reigns at every opportunity. You can only think that Roman Reigns, like I said, he like us assumed that this was going to be Rusev here this evening. And he must have planned for Rusev. And Heath Slater walking out has completely just thrown him off his game. But Heath Slater should not be dominating Roman Reigns this much. He really should not. Reigns now. Couple of elbows to the stomach of Heath Slater. And there's a big Superman punch out of nowhere from Roman Reigns. In for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there you go. We thought this could be a victory here for Heath Slater. But Roman Reigns out of nowhere with that second Superman punch finishes this match off. Boot to the head there by Heath Slater. And a big chop. So we see some of you've got to give it to Heath Slater here. He really did have a really good match. He really did do a lot better than a lot of us gave him credit for. You must admit, like me, when you saw his name come up on that on the Titantron, you thought, oh god, this is going to be a complete walkover. But Heath Slater really gave it his all here this evening. Probably put out the performance of a lifetime for Heath Slater. And Roman Reigns here on his very first United States Championship defense in this open challenge is victorious. Here's that reverse Bloody Sunday. And that could have been all. That really could have been all. You can see it was so close to being a free count, but Reigns kicked out. So Slater had Reigns locked into that chin lock. Reigns managed to fight out. Elbow to the stomach. And that little bit of space was all he needed to hit that second Superman punch. In for the pin. And Heath Slater was no more. Big victory here for Roman Reigns, successfully defending his United States Championship in this open challenge. I got a feeling we'll see another open challenge at Extreme Rules. I'm thinking probably in the pre-show rather than the main show, because I think the main show is nearly completely booked already. So I'm thinking we'll have the pre-show. And here we go. So of course, like I said earlier on, Daniel Bryan lost his opening match in this universe mode last week in the main event against Kevin Owens. And now here he is again in the main event, this time taking on Luke Harper. So two very difficult matches week on week here for Daniel Bryan. Of course, I have slightly tweaked the stats of Luke Harper to make him a bit more effective. Because I really want Luke Harper to be involved primarily in the Intercontinental and United States Championship title picture. Obviously, we've got Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman working the Wyatt family's tag team situation, so that leaves Luke Harper free to go off into singles championship territory. And of course, also Luke Harper helping out Bray Wyatt in his situations as well. We will see some more matches involving Bray Wyatt before the pay-per-view. Of course, last week Bray Wyatt became the #1 contender for Bad News Barrett's WWE Championship when he defeated Randy Orton. Big victory that was for Bray Wyatt, and now he's going to have to face off against Bad News Barrett for the championship at Extreme Rules. So I wonder what could happen there. Luke Harper, like I said, is going to be involved in some of the feuds involving them. And I've got a big idea for this whole Bray Wyatt versus Bad News Barrett feud. It was something I had planned in for something else, but I think this is definitely something we can do with this situation instead. So I really want to build on that. It's going to start building after Extreme Rules, so I can imagine the Bad News Barrett versus Bray Wyatt feud will probably go on for a little bit longer than first expected. Maybe 2, maybe 3 months, depending on what happens. But at the moment, it's looking that way. Luke Harper bringing Daniel Bryan, that is, back up to his feet. And of course, Daniel Bryan, fought off against Kevin Owens last week. So a big, very aggressive, brutish guy. And now here he is again fighting up against another very aggressive, strong guy in the form of Luke Harper. As Harper has Daniel Bryan up. Daniel Bryan slips out of that. What looked like to be a Razor's Edge style powerbomb into the neckbreaker. And now Bryan with a boot to the stomach and a kick to the back as well. Now just a quick plug if you haven't already seen it. Our very first pay-per-view was uploaded yesterday, and that was Ring of Honor's Mystery Vortex. You can find the link to all of the playlists in this 2K16 universe mode in the description below. As well as obviously the card for every show will always be down there as well. But yeah, the links are down there. Of course, we've got Current Day roster on a Monday, got Global Force Wrestling on a Tuesday, NXT on a Wednesday. We have got Ring of Honor on a Thursday, Attitude Era on a Friday, then our Retro roster on a Saturday. So be sure to keep an eye on all those. They are all running independent from each other, so they're really good. And I must say, I think we've definitely gone up a level from 2K15, mainly because of the game. The game has allowed us to create some much better looking matches. They have really worked a lot better. And I think this is just the start, of course. We're going to really go full throttle for this universe mode. It is going to be daily, like it was in 2K15, at least 1 video a day, probably more as time goes on. And like I said, we will be doing the random match series again this week. Hopefully I'm going to get a random match uploaded every single day alongside our episode of the universe mode and an episode of Fallout 4 as well. Luke Harper with a pin now. It's only a 2 count. Yeah, that's what I penciled in to do every single day. Of course, some days I might struggle a little bit. Of course, this is trying to upload 3 videos a day when you work full-time is not very easy. But that's what I'm going to plan to do for you guys. I'm hoping to get as far ahead as possible this weekend. I've not managed to get as far as I possibly wanted to because the videos just taken a lot longer to record this year on 2K16. Of course, it took me 3 hours to record the Mystery Vortex pay-per-view for Ring of Honor. I'm up to 2 hours now on this video here for WWE. Of course, you guys don't see all of that because I cut all the loading screens out and the bits I don't want you to see, just to make it into a much better sort of show format for you. As Daniel Bryan looks to be lining Luke Harper up for something. Is he looking for possibly a label lock? He is. Locks it in. Luke Harper trying to crawl to the ropes, but the referee very cruelly sitting in between Luke Harper and the ropes. Referee finally making Daniel Bryan break it. Luke Harper now with that chin lock on Daniel Bryan. Just slowing the pace of the match down and keeping Bryan grounded. It's probably the best thing that Luke Harper can do, really. Harper now with that big scoop slam, sit out soup slam as well on Daniel Bryan, bringing him back up to his feet. I'm going to tell you what, a victory here for Luke Harper would be great. Be terrible for Daniel Bryan to lose 2 successive main events on Raw, one after the other, but a high-profile victory here for Luke Harper will definitely fire him up those rankings. And Luke Harper is something that I could even see going for one of the main event championships at some point. We will give him the opportunity maybe at fighting for number 1 contendership at some point. See if he does want it, should we say. As Luke Harper looks to be lining Daniel Bryan up here. Big knee to the stomach. And a discus lariat by Luke Harper on Daniel Bryan. This could be all. In for the pin goes Harper. 1, 2. No, Daniel Bryan kicks out. Luke Harper could not believe it. He thought he had the big 3 count victory here on the main event of Monday Night Raw. His very first appearance in our universe mode this year, and he nearly picked up a victory in the main event. And I really like the fact that Daniel Bryan does his taunt and the crowd start to copy. I really like that. Daniel Bryan now throwing Luke Harper into the corner. Luke Harper reverses. Daniel Bryan flips over the top of him though, springs off this rope, ducks under the clothesline, and there's the running forearm by Daniel Bryan on Luke Harper. Bryan bringing Harper back up to his feet. Oh, Bryan went for the boot to the shin of Luke Harper, but Harper caught it, and now into a sidewalk slam. Luke Harper just staring down now at the grounded Daniel Bryan. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. Still only enough for a 2 count though. Luke Harper's starting to wonder what he's going to have to do to finish Daniel Bryan off here. Daniel Bryan starting to try and regain a little bit of momentum himself, pulling Luke Harper into the middle of the ring. There's that snap suplex by Daniel Bryan. Bryan goes up onto the top turnbuckle. Big diving headbutt. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. And there you... Referee, your hand hit the mat 3 times. I heard it. I saw it. But Luke Harper apparently kicked out after 2. Daniel Bryan looks to be lining Luke Harper up. Or maybe not. Sending Luke Harper into that corner. Harper fights back. Well, Harper went for the belly-to-belly suplex, and you see Daniel Bryan there bringing him out with that arm drag, but Harper straight back up with a big boot. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2. And there you go, Luke Harper. Massive victory for him in his first opportunity in the main event here of Monday Night Raw. Terrible result here for Daniel Bryan. He's now lost 2 successive main events here on Monday Night Raw and 2 successive matches here in the universe mode, which is going to give him a debuff, I believe, in the status effects. We'll have to wait and see what happens after this match. We see just a few of the highlights. This here, you see here locking in the label lock, and look at the referee gets in between Luke Harper and the ropes just to really block him off. Daniel Bryan thought he had the victory here, and I thought he had the victory here as well. Here he is with a diving headbutt. And if you ask me, if we're going to see the whole pin, are we? You watch the referee's hand here. 1, 2, 3. The referee's hand hit the mat 3 times. You saw it, you heard it, but it was not enough. And you see Luke Harper here went for the belly to belly, but Daniel Bryan reversed into that arm drag. Luke Harper got straight back up, and there's that big boot just knocking Daniel Bryan clean out there. And there is the 3 count. Great victory here for Luke Harper in the main event of Monday Night Raw. And is that all she wrote here this evening? Looks like it might be. Of course, this was a rivalry match in the rivalry between Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens, but it doesn't look like we're actually going to get any cutscene for that here this evening. But either way, Luke Harper has been skyrocketed up the rankings here this evening. Maybe Intercontinental Championship and United States Championship are definitely in his sights. Anyway guys, that is the end of this episode. I think all we'll do is we'll have a quick look at the status effects after that match. Let's have a quick look at that now. And there we go. There is no status effects, and the game seems to have deleted the feud as well. Well, that's very annoying, isn't it? And I thought this was a problem that only occurred on 2K15. I thought they cleared it off on 2K16 now, but there you go. The game has seems to have decided that it no longer wants to feud Daniel Bryan with Kevin Owens. It's wiped the match off there. We'll continue through the feud ourselves, I think, over the next few weeks, because I really like the idea of Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. That's definitely a match we'll take all the way forward up until our Extreme Rules pay-per-view. No idea why the game has decided to delete it. It did happen quite a few times on 2K15 as well, which got very frustrating, but there you go. It is what it is. We can't change it, and hopefully it's something that 2K might be able to patch out in the long run. However, that is the end of this episode. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Granted, they had the obvious glitch, but apart from that, it's been a very good episode. We saw, of course, Heath Slater put on a fantastic showing of himself in that United States Championship tournament. United States Championship Open Challenge, shall I say. He didn't come out on the winning side, of course, but he really did put out a great appearance of himself. We know, of course, now that Sin Cara is going to face Neville at NXT TakeOver Arrival next week for the Cruiserweight Championship, and the Primetime Players are going to face off against the Ascension at Extreme Rules for the Tag Team Championship. So apart from that, I think that's all I've got to tell you on this episode. Please like this video, of course, if you have liked it, hit that thumbs up button, and of course subscribe for a hell of a lot more 2K16 footage. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Global Force Wrestling Amped.